Howdy everyone, this is Mike. I'm here today at the Blount County Library, Blount County, Tennessee. And you can't see it, but there's a little stream there called Pistol Creek. And up there on top of the hill, that's downtown Maryville, Tennessee. And when you cross over Pistol Creek, you come to Alcoa, Tennessee. So technically we're in Alcoa right now. It's something I've been meaning to do as a video, and because it's supposed to snow tonight, I figured I might as well do it now. But it's a little memorial we have here to a great American writer who lived here in Blount County for a number of years, Cormac McCarthy. Cormac was born in Rhode Island. His father came to work for the TVA, so he moved here as a young man to the Knoxville area. Grew up in South Knoxville. He attended, after a stint in the Air Force, he attended the University of Tennessee. He never graduated from UT, but he got a lot of acknowledgement while he was there for his writing as a student, and decided to become a novelist. Now, it took him about 30 years to become commercially successful, but he won several awards during those 30 years and wrote several memorable books. One of them down here, at the base of the little marker here, probably his most famous book I just checked out at the library, Meridian. Some people consider this the great American novel, or at least one of the best American novels written in the last 50 or so years. Cormac passed away last year, and was widely considered by many to be the greatest living American novelist when he passed away. So it's very interesting that we have these Blount County ties with him. It's a long and interesting history. But the one thing that's very unique here at the library I wanted to share with you is this rock mosaic that's behind the marker here. Now, up in downtown Maryville, around 1971, they decided to build a pedestrian mall in the old downtown area. And they hired a young artist, kind of a long-haired hippie guy, to come and make a couple of stone mosaics for the pedestrian walkway. Now, he was friends with a young struggling writer, and yes, that young struggling writer was Cormac McCarthy, and he hired his friend to help him make two large stone mosaics that ended up in the pedestrian mall in downtown Maryville. Now, around 2000, just before the millennium, the city decided to expand the streets, take away the old vestiges of the pedestrian mall, including removing the rock mosaics. The artist, whose name was Bill Kidwell, said, "Look, I understand you want to destroy those, and I never went on to become a great artist, but you might want to know that the guy who helped me make those rock mosaics is now considered a highly acclaimed novelist." And it was his friend Cormac, of course, who helped him build these rock mosaics. Now, one of the rock mosaics had already been destroyed, but the city, as no small expense, decided to preserve this rock mosaic. They moved it from up the hill there in the downtown area of Maryville over here to the Blount County Library, where it still exists today. And it's very rare to have sort of a hands-on piece of art made by someone who was such a highly acclaimed writer. But I feel the Blount County Library is very blessed to have this and have it here to preserve the memory of Cormac McCarthy. This mosaic was made by rocks just from around here in Blount County, some around the Great Smoky Mountains. Some of the rocks came from the Little River, which runs through Blount County out of the Smoky Mountains. Obviously, it's very expressionistic. I'm reminded when I look at this of some of the passages from Blood Meridian where he writes about the Comanche attack, and it's just a whirlwind of sights and sounds. Now I'm looking for something very specific here, and I sort of don't wonder if it would have been a good idea to actually bring this inside, but to preserve it from the elements. It's going to be probably covered with snow tonight. I can see a few areas where it's starting to fragment. Now, both Cormac and his artist friend did sign this with their finger in the wet concrete. One of the mosaics, apparently a woman, while it was still wet and drying, actually walked across it and got her footprint stuck in it, and Cormac thought that was extremely funny. I don't know if it was this one or the one that was destroyed. Okay, it's very hard to see, but this is where the mosaic was signed. There is Kidwell, 1971. And Mr. Kidwell's associate, none other than Cormac McCarthy. And Cormac was struggling so much at this time, I think he was really happy to kind of get the work. I don't know that he made very much money for helping Mr. Kidwell. But what a great piece of art to have that preserves McCarthy's time here in Blount County. And the library is very fortunate to have this. They have planted some trees around it. I almost hope they would bring it inside at some point and have it under where it's could be preserved indoors. But it was very forward-looking of the county to go ahead and save this, and glad we have it here today. I decided in my extraneous comments in the video I probably didn't do proper justice to Bill Kidwell. He was a Marine Corps veteran, studied art at the University of Tennessee, and actually worked for Lockheed for a while as a draftsman and illustrator, and was even involved in the SR-71 project. This is a painting of his from downtown Knoxville, kind of the famous JFG coffee sign is there. And this is from a painting of Fountain City, where I believe he grew up. A wonderful painting of Fountain City circa 1950. Now, Cormac, of course, went on to become one of America's great novelists. He lived off Orange Plank Road in Maryville, or actually it's Louisville, Tennessee for a while. He had 2 books written by the time he had done the Mosaic, and was working on a 3rd, Child of God. One of his masterworks, which is Suttree, he was working on for a number of years. It was finally published in 1979. and then Blood Meridian in 1985, which was partially written in Knoxville at a motel he was staying in the Bearden area. His first big breakout book was All the Pretty Horses, which of course was made into a film. It won the National Book Award and was first of a trilogy called the Border Trilogy. Those were published in the 90s. Then came No Country for Old Men. Of course, it was a very successful film by the Coen brothers, an Academy Award-winning film. Then The Road, for which he won the Pulitzer Prize, and The Road was a return to the East Tennessee location. His final two books, A Passenger and Stella Maris, were written just before his death.